to the normal committee members. Now, after that lengthy discussion and some legal advice, we have to revert back to the three proposals that I have in front of me. I suppose, given that Councillor McCloughery is asking for a deferral for a month, I think I'll put that to members first. Proposed by John McCloughery, seconded by Robert Irvin, that we seek further advice and information through many sources, some of which Councillor McCloughery has indicated and has been advised by the QC. Some of them are very helpful. So we have a proposal from John. Sorry?
Chair, Councillor McAleer, could I propose just a short recess that Councillor Keenan is able to rejoin the meeting, because he was part of the meeting in conference there.
Bear with me again, Councillor, bear with me till we see if we've got AT connection with.
And I would also call for a recorded vote as well, please, Chair. In relation to the three proposals.
Sorry, yes, Councillor, I'm just checking for connection here.
Councillor Elliott.
Sorry, Keith?
Yes, just on the back of Councillor McCloughery's a proposal there, if it's deferring for a month, I'd be happy to drop mine. Thank you.
Thank you, Keith, for that. Is that okay with you, Councillor Erskine, the seconder?
Yes, I'm happy with that. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you. That's some news. Right, again, have we made contact with? Right, the dial-in number has been sent to Councillor Keenan, so we can wait till his name appears on the issue. I'll prepare for recorded vote. Thank you, John. That's right. We'll have at least. I'll not proceed with the vote to make sure Raymond's back online here.
Sorry, Chair. Keith again here.
Yes, Keith.
Just confirm with John that footage is going to be shared with the landowners.
Thanks for that question, John.
Yes, Chair. We had discussions, in fact, earlier today about the process in which we would get it out to the landowners. Because of the file size, it is massive. So we are currently working with IT in order to make it accessible for the landowners to get.
That's 100%. No bother. Thank you.
Sorry for the delay, members, but
sorry, Chair. Councillor Keenan's requesting if the number could be sent to him on WhatsApp, that he must have poor mobile reception, or.
Oh Lord God. Oh God.
Or if you can even shout it out there, or that I can pass it on to him.
Hold on, do we see?
Or yeah, if it's typed into the chat either in the meeting, I can pass that on to him either.
Well, the advice obviously was that I can't call it out because of the live streaming of the meeting. Okay. So we will try once again through IT. Sorry for the delay again.
Chair, if I could maybe just advise, and Councillor McAleer may wish to pass on the numbers actually on the calendar invitation in Councillor Keenan's diary, so he should be able to just access it directly from the diary.
Okay, thank you for that, Alison.
Thank you for that, Alison. Is right.
Chair, could I just suggest, Seamus here, is there a chance that we could actually go on with the vote, and hopefully by that time at the end, Councillor Keenan would be in, and if not, well then we could wait a wee while at that stage, rather than hold the whole thing up.
Yes, indeed, it is a bit of a problem, Councillor. I was trying to just to check if Councillor Keenan had heard any of the discussion or any of the legal advice before we'd proceed to the vote, but That's actually not a bad idea. I'll just check procedurally. I was okay. Yeah, the advice is that we can proceed with the vote, and the proposal before us is the one of Councillor McLaughlin asking for a deferral for a month with all the other information to seek out further information.
Chair, just before we do take the vote, could I just, and it's just on the issue of the month. I do know how long it takes to get legal advice and to search records and things like that, and things can be very slow. And whilst officers of the council will do everything in their power in order to make sure that it is done as quickly as possible from tomorrow onwards, just the words of defer for 1 month may be an issue, but we certainly will try to do it within the month.
Okay, members, everyone clear with that update? So, proposal to seek further time for further information. Councillor Armstrong?
For.
Councillor Baird?
For.
Collier Blake? Paul Blake?
For.
Mark Buchanan?
For.
Collier Campbell?
Against.
Councillor Clark? Collier Clary? Sean Clark?
An apology, Chair.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, thank you. Councillor John Coyle?
For.
Collier Curry?
Evaver or Gomeliskil in a against.
It's my own road rural Gael Gogum, going yarn 2 men Cogan Shin. Right. Councillor Dehan?
Against.
Anne-Marie Donnelly?
Against?
Sean Donnelly? Sean? Ian, there's many microphones on. Maybe if you could mute your microphone until your name's called. Councillor Rainey, I see yours on. Councillor Wilson, yours is on. Causing quite a bit of background noise. Now, again, Councillor Sean Donnelly. Sorry. Again, somebody's tapping or a microphone going there. Councillor Sean Donnelly, have you your microphone on? I will come back to you, Sean. Give you a minute to sort out. Councillor Stephen Donnelly.
Against.
Councillor Keith Elliott.
For.
Councillor Deborah Erskine.
For.
Collier Anthony Feely.
Against.
Collier Anne-Marie Fitzgerald.
Against.
Collier Adam Gannon.
For.
Collier Mary Garday.
For Chair.
Councillor Seamus Green. Collier Seamus Green.
Against.
Councillor Robert Irvine.
For.
And Councillor Eamon Keenan.
Against.
Collier Catherine Kelly. Catherine Kelly. Yeah, you've put on your off your microphone again. Try again, Catherine. Catherine, your microphone's showing that it's on, but I'm not getting any sound. Catherine, I'll try again in a minute. Maybe if you try to log on again or something, you may have just broadband problems. Collier Podrigan Kelly.
Against.
Councillor Thomas Begier, against. Myself. Councillor Emmett McAleer,
Against.
Councillor Chris McCaffrey,
And I against.
Councillor Stephen McKeon,
Against, Chair.
Councillor John McLaughlin,
For.
Councillor Michael Doof,
Against.
Councillor McPhillips, Garvin,
For.
Councillor Donald Coffey,
Against.
Councillor Thomas O'Reilly,
Against.
Councillor Alan Rainey, Alan, you're on mute. Your microphone's going on and off there, Alan. Try again. For. Got you. Councillor Paul Robinson.
For.
Councillor Chris Smith.
For.
Councillor Bernice Swift.
Against.
Councillor Earl Thompson.
For.
Councillor Howard Thornton.
For.
Councillor Victor Warrington.
For.
And Councillor Bert Wilson.
For.
Now I'm going to return to Catherine Kelly because Catherine is trying to make a vote there. Catherine Kelly, could you try again to lodge your vote, please? What's going on? Catherine? Yeah. Catherine, your microphone is on, but I'm not getting any audio. Catherine, could you put on your screen your video? Hey, I just put something into the chat, did you?
It's in the chat, Chair.
Chair, I think just for the record to note then that Councillor Kelly has put in the chat function against, just for the recording purposes. If you're content to accept that, Chair.
I'm quite content. It's obvious we're having some technical issue. The councillor has tried to contact me by audio, but it's not working. So I'm happy as the chair to accept Catherine's vote there. Yes, excuse me. Oh, that's right. I'm reminded. Yeah, Sean, we have you on video there now. Could you try and cast your vote, Sean, for or against? Against. Good man. Thank you, Sean. You're American. Thank you. That's everybody now, I think, isn't it? Sean Clark's absent.
Okay, Chair.
That's 19-4 and 20 against. So that proposal has fallen. And the next proposal then is by Councillor McAleer, seconded by Councillor Bernice Swift, that the council moves to assert the right of way. I don't believe a request for recorded vote on this proposal. Was there?
Yes, Chair. Fully requested for each.
That's grand, right? Again, now for the assertion of the right of way, Councillor Armstrong.
Against.
Councillor Baird.
Against.
Councillor Paul Blake.
Against.
Councillor Buchanan.
Against.
Councillor Glenn Campbell.
For.
Sean Clark, apology, Leskill. Councillor John Coyle.
Against.
Councillor Siobhan Correa.
Ivavor, for.
Thank you. Councillor Josephine Deehan. Councillor.
4, Chair.
Anne-Marie Donnelly.
4, Chair.
Sean Donnelly.
4.
My good man, Sean. Stephen Donnelly.
4.
Councillor Keith Elliott.
Against.
Councillor Deborah Erskine.
Against.
Councillor Anthony Feely.
4.
Councillor Anne-Marie Fitzgerald.
A favor. 4.
Councillor Adam Gannon.
Against.
Councillor Mary Gardaí.
Against, Chair.
Councillor Seamus Green.
4.
Councillor Robert Irvine.
Against.
Councillor Eamon Keenan.
4.
Catherine Kelly. Catherine. Give me a thumbs up, Catherine, and that'll do. Lovely. Thank you. I'm happy enough with the response. Councillor Podrigan Kelly.
4.
I'll put that in a mistake. Mahan. 4. Councillor Emmett McAleer.
4.
Councillor Chris McCaffrey.
Lahayan Malta 4.
Councillor Stephen McCann.
4, Chair.
Councillor John McClaughry.
Against.
Councillor Barry Michael Dove.
4.
Councillor Garvin McPhillips.
Against.
Councillor Donald O'Coffey. Councillor Tomas O'Reilly.
4.
Councillor Alan Rainey.
Against.
Good man, Alan. Councillor Paul Robinson.
Against.
Councillor Chris Smith.
Against.
Councillor Bernice Swift.
4.
Councillor Earl Thompson.
Against.
Councillor Howard Thornton.
Against.
Councillor Victor Warrington.
Against.
And Councillor Wilson.
Against.
Thank you. 1, 2, 3. 1920 again. All right. 19 against and 24. The motion is carried. All right, councillors. There we are now. Moving on with the agenda to item 7.2, to consider a report on the provision of a cycling hub, paper P. John?
Just go Mleshgil.
Oh, Debrunarm. Go ahead.
IT just to maybe make contact with Courier Kelly there, just to see if they can assist with getting her sound back.
Morgan. Yeah, right. We will try.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. At this committee meeting in June 2020, it was recommended that we would work with Cycling Ireland to identify the most suitable location for a cycling hub. We have done so, and during the summer months, Cycling Ireland were keen to get steps in place in order to move it ahead. And we have looked at a number of locations, but the one which Cycling Ireland have felt is most suitable for the process and for the setting up of the cycling hub would be at the Ecclesfield Centre in Fintna. It's therefore recommended that the Council works with Cycling Ireland and Fintna Regeneration Initiative to establish and develop the cycling hub at the Ecclesfield Centre in Fintna. Thank you, Chair.
Right. Members, could I have a proposer? Councillor McCann, your hands up.
Yes, Chair. Very happy to propose this here. Very positive news for the Fintna and the West Home area. Sure to be agreed. This proposal will definitely put Fintna firmly on the map in terms of commercial cycling and open up the whole sport to local schools and community groups, etc. as well. I think it's great news that Cycling Ireland have identified the Fermanagh District Council area and indeed Fintona for this regional hub. And this hub can only complement further the local facilities in the immediate area, which include forest fields and tennis courts, muggles, which will all be important to provide a safe environment for those taking classes. So I just want to wish Fitness Cycling Club, Cycling Ulster and Cycling Ireland well just in this project. And you wouldn't know, Chair, I might even go out and buy a bike myself.
It could be highly recommended. Councillor Gannon, you wish to say a few words? I'll press the urgency of time, members, if we could be very brief.
Thank you, Chair. Just as a keen cyclist, I am, well, when I say keen, I cycle quite a lot, maybe more than the average person. I'm not going out doing big miles like some of the men and women in cycling clubs, but I'm happy to second, Chair. Just while I'm on, apologies for being late, would it be appropriate just to declare a couple of interests while I'm on, very briefly, Chair?
To have them recorded, maybe you'd be as well now. Councillor, please, quick.
Thank you, Chair. Can I just declare an interest in 7.3 and 7.11, part of the Marble Arch Caves Joint Committee, and 8.1 as a chairman of a group receiving grant funding. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Adam. Councillor, anyone that's just wishing to welcome it, if they could withdraw their hands, because I've got a proposer and seconder. I'm happy to move to the recommendation in the interest of getting this moved on. All agreed?
Chair, just a very brief point that's additional.
Right, very brief. Let it hold.
Thank you. Just one sentence. At this point, I would like to remember a gentleman from Fintona. He's deceased now, Patsy Mcelhatton, but he done a huge amount for the development of cycling in the West Tyrone area, and it's many years on from his passing, but I think it's appropriate at this time just to remember the tremendous work that Patsy Mcelhatton and others have done in Fintona area to develop cycling, and we'll be very proud to witness this development this evening. Thank you, Chair.
All right, good, Margaret Barry. Thanks for that. Okay, members, moving on to item 7.3, sorry, walk NI marketing support. I'm just going to go straight to the recommendation unless somebody has something very contrary to that. Sorry, Councillor Armstrong, you indicated first there, just if you want to say a word.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, yes, I welcome this. I think, obviously we have a perfect environment for this walking activities. Just one suggestion, if I may. It's really, could we ensure better alignment from the FLT website to Walk NI to really benefit from the best marketing platforms there. I think from Walk NI, there's a plethora of walks there that are unknown to even local people. So I think that would really be a help in the FLT website to revisit that and really promote walking as a real activity within the district and embracing the giant spirit.
Diane, you're happy to propose that?
Absolutely. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Earl Thompson, you were next to speak there, please. Keep it brief if you can, Earl, and second if you wish. Earl? Councillor Thompson? He's lost signal now too. Right, next in line is Councillor Michael. Is that you? Councillor Michael, sorry, Councillor Thompson. I was calling you there. You lost signal again.
Sorry, I'm back in. It gives me pleasure to second Councillor Armstrong's proposal and welcome it very much. Thank you.
Thank you. That's the way to do it. Thanks, Earl. Colin McAleer, again, a couple of words because I have it proposed in second. I want to move to the recommendation.
Yeah, I was going to second, but happy to support. And I would just make a further proposal that we actually contact Walk NI and propose that they update or reference their information now with the new public right-of-way along the historic Green Road. So we would propose formally that we would ask that they include that in their future advertising and literature as well. So that's an additional proposal there, Chair.
It's not asserted yet. Chair.
Yeah, that's exactly the point I was about to make, and John has added there. The fact that the right-of-way has not yet been asserted, that is not possible, Councillor. I'm ruling that one out. Thanks very much. That's all we have proposed and seconder. Councillor Michael Duff again.
Yep, Chair,
couple of
because I have been lobbied by local people on this very matter, and I want to reflect what they want me to say because it's important. In the Gorton and West Tyrone area, as well as Mid Tyrone, there's tremendous recent development of walkways, and I want to commend the council for the work that they're doing in that area, in that regard, including Bessie Bell. But you know, they couldn't do it without really good partners out in the community sector. So I think as a council, we need to always make sure that we're relating to our stakeholders, the partners. But one point that was made, imagine that Councillor McCaffrey would know more about this than me. I'm told that the Ulster Way signage and way markers, directional signs, they're not as good as, for example, in Belcoo as they might be in Black Lion. Told there's a qualitative difference, so I think that should be investigated. You know, the Ulster Way, improving signage, but Mullingar, for example, recently, unbelievably popular walkway becoming now as well. So just to commend work ongoing by the council, but also to commend our community partners and to suggest that we ask the Ulster Way to improve signage and way marker directions as appropriate. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks for that, Barry. Sorry, who was that? Sorry.
Councillor Thompson here. Just want an issue of clarification there from Councillor McAduff. He mentioned Mullaharn. Does he mean Mullacarn? Thank you.
Yes, just on a point there. Errol, me and you will have a chat someday about the power of the aspiration in the language.
We're not going through an Irish grammar class at the present moment. I'm trying to get a meeting finished. Thanks for that clarification. We'll not fall out about Darahara and Daracharan in a skill either. Go on ahead. Happy enough to everybody in agreement with the recommendation? Thank you, members. Item 7.4, the Christmas lights and the tree allocations. Again, yes. Everyone has had time to absorb it. Go ahead, John.
Yes, Chair, it is an approval for the arrangements for the Christmas lights funding and to make provision for the Christmas trees across the district as detailed in the appendix. And also to approve the arrangements for communities who don't avail of the council Christmas tree to have their Christmas lights allocation increased by the equivalent amount. And to approve the licensing and insurance arrangements detailed in.
Thanks for that, John. First up, Councillor Armstrong. Councillor Armstrong. Hand up from previous.
Sorry, yes, happy to propose, Chair. Thank you, and happy Christmas to everybody.
A bit early, but we'll take it. Councillor Michael here. Up from earlier, no?
Apologies, Chair, yeah, up from earlier, apologies.
Right, Anne-Marie Fitzgerald.
Yes, Chair, I want to second the proposal. And on that, I was just going through it, and John and Tommy, I was going through the list of Christmas trees and who's allocated. And I was wondering, Killyclogher, I know that it's a village and a settlement in its own right, and I don't see it there. And I know people have quite concerning about that, why it has been left out. But there's a Killyclogher sign indicating the village, and I'm just wondering, John, maybe on the back of that there, if you could look to see why Killyclogher hasn't been allocated, or the possibility of giving them a hand there as well, please.
Yes, Chair, we can certainly look at it. I know the list was agreed previously by a working group in 2017, but we'll certainly take a look at it.
That'd be appreciated, because it's a large settlement. There is, I think there's 12. No, sorry, it's the next one. But there is a large settlement, and it's grown up, and they always have a Christmas tree. So I feel that that the council should be supporting them more. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Anne-Marie.
Sorry, Chair, could I come in there?
Well, sorry, if you could wait, there are other ones in for you there, Josephine. I will allow you in order.
Just in point of information in relation to that Killyclogher issue.
If you could wait, please, Josephine, because there is only a few in front of you, and I'll get you within two speakers. Corlia Corey.
And yes, just on a similar vein, actually. I've been in contact with the Ederney Community Development Trust, and I note that Ederney isn't on there. We've been in contact over this. Is it possible to have them included on this list, John, or what's the process? I also note that Tempo isn't on there either, but I have been contacted by Ederney on this issue. great community doing fantastic things out there, community driven things. So would like to see that if possible.
Yeah, yes, Chair. I think actually Killyclogher may be on the list in Appendix 2 for Christmas. Killyclogher.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
it
been
is.
spotted. Yeah, it's
It
been
is.
spotted.
It is. So it was in identified in the working group in 2016. So Killyclogher is on the list. With regard, let me see now. No, and I don't think Ederney is on it. We'll take a look at it. I suppose one thing that has to be said is that we have a limited budget, and we cannot put a Christmas tree everywhere. But we'll certainly take a look at it and see what we can do.
Okay, Gurmagad, I understand, we're trying to come up with a more sustainable kind of program, but just if you could take a look at that, much appreciated. Gurmagad.
Thanks for that, Siobhan. And Councillor Michael Duff, is your hand up again? Or up from earlier? And Councillor Fitzgerald, yours is still up too. No, Councillor Deehan now, sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, well, thank you, Chair. Well, it was really just a point of information that a working group in 2016 did identify Killyclogher as a significant conurbation and worthy of a Christmas tree. And it is, in fact, detailed in Appendix D. Thank you.
That's it. Thanks for that. That's already been pointed out. Thanks for that. We have a proposer and seconder. Everybody agreed? And now we've come to the point on the agenda 7.5 where I have to vacate the chair.
Chair, can I make a brief point, a different point? And it's just to ask John to consider that within the Omagh Town District electoral area, I think there might be 3 in total. I personally think that there is scope for Christmas tree provision in Coolnagyard and Strathroy, given the size of those settlements. They're big estates of as many as 400 houses, almost 400 houses each. So just not to get an answer tonight, but to explore the possibility of Strathroy and Coolnagyard being added in the spirit of what both Councillor Fitzgerald and Councillor Deehan were doing in relation to Killyclogher there. Thank you.
Will do, Chair.
Right, as indicated, members, I need to vacate the chair, having declared an interest, and I'll hand over to Councillor McCaffrey.
Evening, members. Can everyone hear me?
Carry on, yeah.
Yeah, Michael. So, as King Henry VIII said to each of his 6 wives, I don't intend to keep you too long. Okay, so my PCSP annual report. So at this juncture, I'm going to hand over to John Boyle.
Thank you, Chair. The PCSP annual report is provided to members as a legal responsibility under the Justice Act Northern Ireland. It has already been approved by the PCSP committee and details some of the great work that is undertaken by the PCSP in 1920. Some of them, especially the participatory budgetary initiative, the community cash, where the local community votes on what projects should take place in their local area. Chair, it's recommended that the Council notes the Fermanagh and Omagh annual report for 1920 for the PCSP.
Okay, thanks, John, for that, and well done to Thomas and Monica and everyone involved in that very comprehensive report. Okay, so recommended to just approve if members are all happy, if there's any dissent. I can't see if anyone's indicating to come in on this, so I'm assuming.
Chairman, Councillor Thompson here. I welcome the report. And congratulations to everyone involved. I formally propose the adoption of the recommendations.
Okay, and just for a seconder then.
Thornton.
Second, Councillor Blake.
Okay, I heard Councillor Blake there, so proposed and seconded there. Okay. So as Councillor Chairman Tommy Maguire had mentioned, we're going to put items 8.1 and 8.3 along just to facilitate his absence in the chamber, just to speed things up hopefully. So if members can now just to note, we're going on to item 8.1.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Paper M then is presented at 8.1, and the purpose of the report is to request council approval for a number of grant aid proposals. So to open a second grant aid call in the current year, to also open a grant call for a business revitalisation recovery fund. That's for urban and rural businesses located in towns and villages across the district. To obtain approval of the recommendations of the Grant Aid e-panel meeting held on 2nd of September for the first round of the Recover Fund programme, and also to obtain approval of the recommendation of the Grant Aid e-panel in respect of an appeal application referred to it from the Grant Aid Appeals e-panel meeting relating to capital grant aid for 2019 to 2021. In terms of the first grant aid, the second call on Grant Aid 2021, there are a number of streams which are outlined at paragraph 2.1.1. In terms of the business recovery scheme and grant, we have received tranche 1 funding from the Department for Communities of 221,000 for investment in urban settlements and 121,000 from DAERA for investment in smaller settlements. We're aiming to use that phase 1 funding for a business recovery scheme, offering capital grants of between £1,000 and £2,500 at 100% funding rate to businesses, and those will be located within urban and rural settlements. Now, we had sought council approval, but the council meeting didn't get through the agenda, so we don't have council approval for this recommendation, and I know that there is some urgency around this and some representations which are being made around the urgency of it. So there is potential, if members are content with the proposals, to seek that we do proceed to open that call under delegated powers from the Chief Executive and the Chair, and then we will report back at a later point. Or alternatively, we could bring a recommendation to the special council meeting on Monday the 14th. The proposal is that applications will be allocated on a first come, first served basis. And I just want to point out that there may be potential for this scheme to be oversubscribed. So we don't want to open it until we have clearly advertised the call in the papers so that everyone is aware of it. And so the earliest date we would propose opening would be Thursday the 17th of September, so we can get it into the local press. There's a Recover Fund programme which has been opened and closed, and Appendix 1 outlines the recommendations of the Grant Aid panel. And again, in terms of the Capital Grant Aid Appeal, which was referred back to the Grant Aid panel, the Grant Aid panel met, and the recommendations outlined in Appendix 2. The recommendations of the report are that the Council approves the opening of the second call of Grant Aid in 2021. We approve the opening of a grants call in respect to the Revitalisation Recovery Scheme, and I'm suggesting that we proceed immediately with that, with sign-off from the Chair and Chief Executive, and that Appendix 1 and Appendix 2 from the Grant Aid panel are approved.
Okay, thanks very much, Kim, for that. So I see a number of members are indicating, and apologies just on the last item if members have indicated or not, it wasn't just appearing on my screen, but I can see now. So I can see here Councillor O'Coffey and Kate Dinya. Stonewall O'Coffey's first person.
All right. In relation to, I wanted to speak on the digitization aspect. Obviously, it's important that we get to it quickly. I note in the guidelines that they example the type of spend that would be supported under this, and I just that will be supported in this programme. Secondly, I also know both branches, including branches, that there may be support for revenue spend such as marketing and promotional events. Wondered if the council can take forward some promotional events under the trust. And finally, my most statement is really, I also note on the guidelines of the department that it specifies that all plans must with public health guidance and take account of Section 7 requirements, in particular the needs of people with disabilities. So I think it's very that access sign inclusive. That means are sensory, autism friendly, and that that street furniture is accessible to all, but also does not be a fixed access. So I'm happy to see this book. I think it's absolutely necessary, but it has to be brought forward in a way that delivers on 75 people's. Thank you, Chair.
Collier. Okay, so and Darna Dinyatag, Tosh Bunch and Shaw Dumpson. Second person that's indicating to me now is Councillor Warrington. So Lanarai, Victor, going ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Well, basically, it's just on the paper item. Just let me get the right item again. 2.4.2. Due to the fact that a complaint has been lodged with the Commissioner in respect of this item, and due to the large financial commitment from the Council, I propose that this item is deferred until at least the Commissioner has indicated whether this complaint will be investigated. So I think we need to, that needs to be taken into account, that this has been actively presented to the Commissioner. Thank you.
Yep, Gormagat, thank you, Councillor Warrington. So next we have Councillor Paul Blake.
Thanks, Chair. I don't know if you wanted to take them all individually, but I would be happy to propose the recommendations because, as mentioned there previously by Kim, the Town Centre Recovery Fund is vital for the town centres of both Enniskillen and Omagh, and we need to speed up that process as quickly as possible because, like so many of our council meetings that are overrunning now, then it's time we speeded up this process because it's essential funding, and also then for the clubs and community organisations that are much needing this funding, then I'd be happy to propose the recommendations.
Okay, so happy to propose all four, Councillor Blake, yeah?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Gormagat, thank you. And then we have Councillor Keith Elliott. So go on ahead, Keith. Councillor Elliott.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, well, the recommendations that's before us, yes, the one with the essential fund, yet it's very important that that goes through. We'll give them what Councillor Warrington's after saying with regard to that 2.4.2. Well, I'll second that. I wouldn't be happy with that, but if we are voting on this, I would like a recorded vote on that recommendation. Thank you.
Chair, if I could come back in there briefly as Councillor Warrington again.
Okay,
it was actually the recommendation, recommendation 4 on the actual paper. It was recommendation 4. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So recommendation 4. So you're proposing to defer that, and that's been seconded by Councillor Elliott. You still happy enough with that?
That's correct. Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Now we have Collier Thomas O'Reilly, Councillor Thomas O'Reilly.
Thank you, Chair. Just to declare an interest in the funding for Newton Butler Play School, so I won't be taking part.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Councillor Gormagat. Now, Councillor Seamus Green.
Thank you. It's just more of an observation. It's very strange to hear a Brookborough councillor trying to stop money going to Brookborough. I just wonder why that is. It's very strange. I never tried to stop money going to any organisation in Brookborough in my life, but it just seems very strange.
Okay, thank you, Councillor.
Can I answer that, Chair?
Apologies, Councillor Warrington, I'll let you back in. There's a number of speakers. I'll let you back in at the end. There's only 2 or 3 ahead of you. Okay, so next we have Councillor Bernice Swift. So Bernice.
Yeah, Guramagat. If you want to do mine, ask Gaeilge, it's new the coin. Yeah, okay, Chris.
Oh, you had a coin. I should have known that.
Yeah, very good. Guramagat. Anyway, yes. I just wanted to come in and second Donald O'Coffey's proposal regarding the disability access for Guramagat.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Guramagat. And we have Councillor Anne-Marie Donnelly next.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to seek a point of clarity in relation to the grants call. I know Kim mentioned that we were considering opening the call on the 17th of September. Obviously, in the recommendation there, it's 14th of October. Is the 17th of September for both calls? It's just for my own clarity, really. I'm sorry if I've missed it.
That's great. Thanks, Anne-Marie.
Okay. I suppose I'm updating. We've received there's been some discussion around the business recovery grant aid proposal, and I'm making an alternative recommendation to that, which is outlined in the report, suggesting that we, because of the urgency of the funding going to the business community, that we would expedite that and open it on the 17th of September. And that's a matter for members as to whether they're content with that.
Okay, so if members were pleased with that, then
yeah, that's what I'm concerned about, Chair, in relation to, is it the 14th of October we're looking at here, or the 17th of September? I just wanted that clarified. So maybe if the members that have proposed it could consider that. Thank you.
Okay, and Councillor Warrington, Victor, you can back in now if you want to.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Well, just in response to Councillor Green, I'm not quoting money from any groups or anything, and I think he knows my history in the council. For a while, I've supported everything that's went forward. The problem is with this, there has been a complaint with the Commissioner, and at the end of the day, how this decision to give this money was reached. And I think until that if the Commissioner decides to investigate it, I think we need to hold back on that until that happens. And if after that, if it's ruled out, okay, but let's wait to see what the Commissioner says. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor. So there's a number of members with their hands still raised here.
A point of order, Chair, just on that. So,
Green,
can I just clarify then to Alison, and anything that any of us don't like going through for one reason or another, and I'll leave it up to everyone to judge the reason why this has been a complaint about. All we have to do is send off a spurious complaint to the Commissioner to try and stall it. So, would that be the process then? Because we all can play that game if that's the way it's going to go. And I'll certainly be up for playing it if we get down to this type of nonsense that's happening now.
Okay.
Chair, just in terms of the clarity, obviously the decision is before members as to how you wish to proceed. Councillor Warrington has indicated in his proposal that a complaint regarding the allocation or the recommendation from the panel has been referred to the Commissioner. Whether members wish to take that on board in your decision making is entirely a matter before the committee this evening.
Okay, thank you, Alison. So I see there's a number of fresh hands. Councillor Chris Smith.
Just in relation to Councillor Green's comment,
just Councillor Smith, I'm very alert not to allow this meeting to descend into just point scoring and back and forth. We've had enough of that for the past almost 2.5 hours now, so I don't think that's